Do you know if you mostly work from home, then you could reduce your taxable income by around 4,000 euros? Well, if you want to know how, then this video is for you. So, there are two things. If you want to avoid the hassle and save time, then you could just claim the home office lump sum of 6 euros for each day you work from home. You don't have to submit any proofs for this. This is suitable for people who don't have a dedicated room for work. The maximum you can claim is 1260 euros a year. Therefore, you have to work at least 210 days from home in a calendar year in order to claim the full 1260 euro deduction. On top of it, you can also deduct costs incurred on buying home office equipment. However, if you have a dedicated room for working, then there is no upper limit for the deductions. Now, what conditions a home office room must meet? Firstly, it must be a separate room. Working at the kitchen table, bedroom corner, or living room does not qualify. Secondly, that room should almost exclusively be used for work. A guest bed, TV, or hobby use is not allowed. A few shelves or storage units is fine. Furnishings must show professional character, such as desk, chair, or a cabinet. One can deduct all costs attributable to that room. For instance, proportion of rent, utilities bill, property tax, insurance, and renovation of that room. Let us understand this with an example. I worked from January to March in an apartment without a dedicated room, then moved to a new apartment from 1st April which has a dedicated room for working. The warm rent for the new apartment is 1000 euros. The dedicated room constitutes 20% of the total apartment size. Therefore, the share of home office would be 20% of the total rent paid from April to December, that is 1800 euros. The amount spent on office equipment is 760 euros. My office is 100 kilometers from my home and I drove to office 3 days a month. That is 36 trips a year. Now Finance Arm gives you 30 cents for each kilometer for the first 20 kilometers and then it gives you 38 cents for the subsequent kilometers. This amounts to a total of 1310 euros. In the old apartment, I worked from January to March and I worked from home for 60 days. Therefore, I can claim the pauschale of 6 euros per day that amounts to 360 euros. Therefore, the grand total comes out to 4230 euros. At 40% tax rate, one can save 1692 euros by just working from home. The claims can be listed in Anlage N under Werbungskosten, point 11. Here is a screenshot showing the deductions. If you want to learn more about filing taxes on Elster, please take a look at my other videos and please don't forget to subscribe.